Hello everyone. Yesterday we created a writer's notebook, and today we're going to work on figuring out what we can put in those writer's notebooks. So let's look at some things that you can write in a notebook. One thing you can write about in your notebook is details of your day. So this is something that I like to write about a lot because I like to remember things that I did. So I can look back and I can see what a typical day was like in high school for me, because I kept a journal and notebook in high school. I also kept one in college. So you could write about what happened to you throughout the whole day, or you can just pick certain moments that stood out to you and you can look back on those one day. Another thing you can write about are how-to. So you could write about how to make a recipe. You could write about how to do a certain basketball play in a game. Anything you want that you know that you could teach someone about, that could be in your notebook. A third thing that you could write about is something new you have learned. For example, just a couple days ago, I learned how to use a chainsaw for the very first time. So that's something that you could write about. You could talk about how you learned that, or you could even go back and teach someone else how to do something like that. A fourth thing you can include in your notebook are reviews. So reviews are when you talk about the pros, the cons, and your general overview of what you liked or did not like about something. So I could write a review about a book I've been reading. I could write a review about a Netflix video that I just watched. I could write a review about a video game. Anything you want, you could do a review over. You can also write about our feelings. So sometimes I'm having some strong feelings, and if I write about it, it makes me work through those emotions and feel better. So you can write about how you and a friend might be in a fight, an argument. You can write about something sad that happened, something that can help you work through something. Another thing you can write about are letters. So you can write a letter to someone else. You can decide if you want to send it to them or not. And you can also write a letter to yourself. You could write a letter to your future self. So for example, I could write, "Dear Miss Berry, in 20 years, I think you will be," or "Dear Miss Berry, in 20 years, I want you to remember that today you did." So you could do a letter to yourself or to someone else. I think this one could be fun. Another thing you can do is make lists. That's a really good thing to do when you have no idea what you want to do. So I could write a list of everything I'm thankful for. I could write a list of my favorite songs. I could write a list of pretty much anything. So lists are a really good idea when you're trying to jumpstart your writing. And finally, we can write poetry. I know some of us we haven't really done a lot of poetry, but some of us may be interested in poetry. And my favorite way to get inspired with poetry and just to write in general is to take a walk outside. And sometimes I'll take a walk outside with my notebook, and it will inspire me to think of things to write about. Even just describing what you see and describing nature helps. So you have all of these different things you can write about in your notebook. Today, I want you to pick one of these to write about in your notebook. And I'm going to pick one too. I think I am going to write a review, okay? And if you want to check in later and see what I have written, I will share it with you. But remember, your job today is to pick one of these and write about it in your notebook today. Okay? If you have any questions for me, send me a message, and I look forward to reading what you have written.